this one woman was able to reach out and build a society of service that inspired others to go out and do good amongst the people that they lived with. Years ago, I had the chance to personally meet Mother Teresa in Calcutta, India. And it was, for me, a very life-changing experience. As we met Mother Teresa and she went along and she blessed each of my students, I remember her little frail hand, and she was close to her early 80s at that time, placing that on my head and blessing me. And I thought, this is the power of one. One individual can make a difference. Mundo de Colores is a children's daycare, and the people in the community here with little niños, little children, will be able to come here for an education. There was a structure that was here that was removed because it wasn't put together very well, and so the workers are the artisans and the craftsmen, and the students are here helping not only learn and then start to do some of the work themselves, but they're assisting the Peruvian workers.
Behind me is going to be a double as a soup kitchen, similar to what you would find at St. Anne's or Catholic Community Services in Ogden, but also in the evening time it's going to double function as a women's training center. Women can come, and in a setting that is relatively low risk, they can try business skills. So this place will be set up as a classroom. Women will be coming here and learning all about business. They will be able to cook and provide a restaurant, a storefront or mock restaurant here. They'll be able to have a window where they can sell goods from if that's their business idea. It will be a space for women to be able to learn how to help provide for their families and increase the socioeconomic status of their families.
Back at home we have water 24/7. I mean, they have to store it for their cooking, their cleaning, their bathing, their drinking. They would go about 2 weeks without water, and it would come by truck, and they have no way to store it really. So we're putting it in so that they can have free-flowing water as much as they want.
We've already completed approximately half of the piping that we're laying from the beginning point to where it will end, and then where these 4 wells will be found, or taps will be found inside this stream of piping. Fresh drinking water is probably the key to good health, hygiene, and as well, just for the convenience, I think it will probably help many of these families to save some time rather than labor in trying to carry what water is needed for them to survive in a day.
We were in the museum for the Señor de Zipan. One of the huacos was kind of a tree, but it started as life. And something that I was thinking is that for these trips, we're really kind of those roots of that tree. And when you plant a tree, is you mix the roots up so that the roots can grow into the soil in which they're planted, rather than in the pot where they become root bound, where they're comfortable in their nutrient-rich environment. And these trips are just that for students. We remove them from their nutrient-rich environments, where they're comfortable, where they know their customs and what's around them, and they come into this very labor-intensive field, being placed in a setting in which the customs are very different, and they grow. We're shaking up, as an example, those roots so that students are able to really put themselves right back into the Ogden community and let their roots grow deep, really find out how they can fit, how they can make a difference in the world, and grow those roots deep into what is the environment, not just seeing the best of what's around them, but seeing the reality of what's around them. And how they can be agents of change.
Students and faculty are gaining a better understanding of what community is about. It's working together, it's serving together, and it builds bonds that are unbelievably strong. And I can't stress enough the fact that the local people have been here with picks and shovels and moving the dirt and helping us wheelbarrow and moving materials in and building the structure together. There's this great synergy going on between our students and the workers. And even more than that, there's been some great friendships that have been forged out of working together side by side with the Peruvians. True friendship. One of the foremen here, his name's Hector, and he wants a photograph of all the students so that he can hang it on his wall at home to always remember this great memory that has been occurring here at this site in Peru.
We drove in this morning that two of the people recognized me and came right up to me and shook my hand, gave me a hug, and they were genuinely glad to see me. It's been a wonderful experience. It's been good getting right here at the dirt level, literally the dirt level with these people and seeing how they live. This is something that is humbling. It's something that gains awareness for people in regard to themselves and to others in our world community. It's a grand thing to do, and it should be recommended for everyone.
What you learn on these trips is something that you can't learn anywhere else. You can't learn in any classroom, any school, like anywhere besides this trip, and it'll change you forever. And wherever you go, I think you leave a part of like your heart and yourself there, and you fall in love with service on these kinds of trips, and it inspires you to go back home and do service in your own community because you fell in love with it here and you want to continue having that feeling that you have every day here.
Our students are able to understand how they can look at situations and how they have the capacity to be able to change those situations. We talk about it as kind of changing lenses or putting lenses on, that you see the world rather than through deficits or what the world needs or what the world could do better with, but through assets and what the world does good and how you can build on the good qualities of other people to make something really great, treating people rather than treating issues.
It was probably around 7 o'clock at night, I think. The sun was already down. And I look over and I see this little girl sitting on the front step, and her mom was sweeping off the porch, and she was just staring at us. And she was probably around, I want to say, maybe 5 or 6 years old. And she just looked at me, and we made eye contact. She waved, she said, "Hola." At that moment, I just stopped using the wheelbarrow, and I looked over and I was like, wow. This little girl's going to be using the school, and that right there gave me the extra drive that I need to, and we ended up staying really late at the night, and at that moment I was like, it's not more or less for me, it's for her.
If you travel 3,000 miles to a foreign country and have that international experience, you have a different level of poverty and economy that you're dealing with.
Hearing people say, we're so grateful that you have come, we're so grateful that you're building us a women's training center, or that you're bringing water to our community, or that you're building a preschool. Our students leave with just as much.
It doesn't matter if you're serving in Peru, or if you're serving in Mozambique, or if you're serving in India. What is so important is that that's what you're doing.
We just need to forget about ourselves in service and take care of others.
It doesn't matter if you're, in Ogden, Utah, or if you're in Peru. I think just giving yourself, to anyone that needs it.
Get out to live. You got nothing else to lose.
Let's do this together. Let's improve. Let's help each other. Let's build this society and community, and it's the way that the world needs to be.
Deepest blue, open the window and let it through. The day is waiting for me and you, and we will do anything. Open roads, take my hand and we will roll. Don't need a reason, we'll just go. This is our time, we're feeling so alive. The stars, they all ignite for you and I. This is our time, wildest dreams. With you they all seem within reach. When we're together I believe, and I believe.
Service is my life.